Uh-oh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that?
What?
Those are the lyrics to a terrible song by a dude named Silk the Shocker. Sometimes they pop into my head.
Sometimes you got to start a podcast that way.
Uh-oh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that? And he was referencing Steve Urkel. You know,
Bad lyrics that have popped into my head right now.
No.
I'm trying to be a tough dad, but you be making me laugh.
Wait, say that again. Say that.
I'm trying to be a tough dad, but you be making me laugh.
Uh-oh, it ain't my fault. See, those Will Smith and Silk the Shocker.
What's his name?
Will Smith and Silk the Shocker should have collaborated. And that song would have been fantastic. And that song was
terrible.
No, fantastic. I don't think either one of them are terrible. I think they're both so stupid. They're great.
Anyway, Sean, where are you going to be?
Where
can people see ya?
If you're hearing this on the day we release it, on Tuesday, July 23rd, I will be headlining the Comedy Cellar at McDougal tonight.
Shit. Oh my God, yeah, and you're doing your Edinburgh hour, so
Yeah.
you should definitely go to that.
And I will
you're in New
also
York.
be in Washington, D.C. at the Big Hunt this weekend, the 26th and 27th.
Cool.
And then I will be also Sunday at the Fat Black Pussycat
Ooh, Fat
doing the Edinburgh hour again in New York. And then I
love the Fat
leave
Black.
on Tuesday. So there you go. Where are you going to be?
Check them out. I am going to be in Manchester, England, doing my Edinburgh Fringe Hour at the King's Arms in Salford. So
Jesus.
check that out. It's
already-
my last 3 shows to run before we do the Fringe.
Yeah. And Tommy Thakkar.
Yeah.
Tommy Thakkar.
I tried to look up where he's going to be.
I don't think
he
he
hasn't updated his website, but I bet he updates his Twitter, which is Tom A. Thakkar.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Twitter.
one thing about our guest. Not only is he a wonderful comedian, he hates when you call him Tommy Thakkar. So don't do that. That's me. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
But Tom Thakkar, wonderful comedian.
Tom Thakkar.
Look up just look up everything he's got.
Yeah.
And you'll fall in love with them, and you'll thank us, and we'll be like,
Very true.
no, we did it for you. And you'll be like, I know, but thank you. And we'll be like, seriously, you're welcome. That's fine. It's fine. You don't have to thank us again. We get it. You're thankful.
Yeah. So enjoy the episode and be thankful. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Here we're coming at you with one of my favorites, a young man I met years ago in Bloomington, Indiana. A young, smiley-faced, chirpy-mouthed comedian.
Chirpy mouth.
Chirpy mouth, and that's a compliment. And just because he was just like a little bird chirping jokes.
It's very true.
And hilarious, wonderful family man, though he doesn't have a family yet. That's the best way to describe this guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be an excellent dad, but like a
he's
dad
not
with
yet.
a dad with flaws that will make his kids realize that we're all human. Yeah, and you've seen him. He's got credits. He's been on what? Conan. Has he?
just did a half hour on Comedy Central.
Comedy Central,
He's
yeah.
done Conan, yeah.
It's got
very funny.
Got an hour Netflix special in 2024 coming out. The one and only Tom Thakkar.
Tommy Thakkar.
Welcome back. So,
That was so short. I was going to join in.
were you?
I don't know now. I wasn't.
You just wanted to keep me. How long can I keep him beatboxing? No, seriously, do it again. Okay. Yeah,
It's the only
remix.
one I can do.
That would be
bad at
funny if you were just like, if you were a rapper who just always got stage fright. Right. But everyone just liked everything else. Like, she's got to be great. Come on, everybody, give her a chance again. And then she comes out like, yeah. And then, sorry, no. And then, come on.
It's like
I'll
the
wait for the
Shy
next
Ronnie,
one. Yeah.
the old Shy Ronnie sketches.
Shirani.
Yeah, it was the Andy Samberg and Rihanna Lonely Island thing.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
It wasn't exactly the same premise, but
Well, no, because there's also a comedian named Hugh Moore. You know Hugh? LA?
No, but that's a great name.
Yeah, Hugh Moore. Yeah. He does a lot of he writes for stuff, but he has a ventriloquist character called Shy Tony.
Wow.
And he's just got the ventriloquist Shy Tony, the doll just whispers everything in his ear.
That's really funny.
That is great.
Brilliant. It's genius. He's brilliant. So there you go. Here we are, the joke detectives. We're not, by the way. That's not the podcast you're
No,
listening to.
but this is our guest, Tom Thakkar.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
You know, I forgot, Tom. I will tell you a little joke we had. I'm not going to say at your expense, but on your expense account, I'll say.
Sure.
When you arrived here, Caitlin noticed it was precisely at 3:30.
Yes.
The time we set for you to come.
Yes.
At 3:30 a.m. for those listening. We do the pod. You know, we're up early.
Of course.
Rebels.
You guys didn't know this. I was here at 3:30 a.m. last night. I just assumed. And then when I didn't hear anybody come out, I was like, I think I fucked this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep in the street.
That legitimately happened to me yesterday. I told somebody 10, assuming they would know 10 p.m. They showed up at 10 a.m. at my house, and I was like, I am so sorry. It was like the Dumb and Dumber scene.
Wow.
It was like,
But now you have a whole day to yourself.
I feel like that might be the only time you could really do that.
I know. Yeah, 11 you could go. You
Maybe.
would assume morning for sure.
Yeah.
10 I assume night.
And
I don't know.
9. I think
would be like
I think
9
it
is
depends on the
definitely
person,
night.
but 9 is
Yes.
definitely night for me.
I don't think you couldn't fuck up 12 because no one says 12.
Yeah.
Right.
People say
You'd
noon
say
or
noon or
midnight.
midnight.
We should give all times double nicknames like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you got one, you got the right eye and left eye.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
1 p.m. or 1 a.m. Right
What do
eye
we
or
got
left
for
eye.
two?
I like that. When I was emailing back and forth with some people in England for Edinburgh stuff, they kept saying midday. And I knew that meant noon, but to me, midday feels like 2 p.m. for some reason.
Okay.
That just feels like the middle of my day.
Yes. I think so too.
Yeah.
Midday feels like 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Way to
like
slip
that.
in that she emails people in the UK.
Wow.
The context
Way
was
to
unnecessary.
Way to
You're
slip
right.
it in.
Brag.
No.
So what
I
was
do
this
things in England.
So what was this big fucking
Oh
joke?
no! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Oh, yeah.
She
He
goes,
forgot
wow.
already.
She was like, he's on time, and I was like, they don't call him Tommy on time Thakkar for nothing.
I'm leaving.
And I
I'm
laughed.
offended.
Oh, I laughed. I was like, that would be.
That's great.
And then I thought of a world where instead of comedy, we were all in the mafia, and we all did. And I was like, that would
We
be
do
a
need
good
some nicknames.
That'd be a good. It's on time Thakkar, you know.
What's yours? Is it still Owl Boy?
Shawnee shit-faced Patton, you know? This guy is just, A, he's either always shit-faced, or B, he's always got his face in someone's ass.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
a terrible,
Gross.
So we got-
terrible reputation.
Caitlin Creek in the Cave Cook.
Sure.
Nobody wants
I'm
that.
only there.
Caitlin, cool dude Cook.
Nice.
Yeah, because she's awesome.
Caitlin UK Cook.
Caitlin,
take
because she emails people.
I think
Email in
it's
the
got to
UK.
be alliteration. Like my name.
Caitlin Calabasas Cook, because that's where she's not directly from Calabasas,
I'm
but close.
definitely not from Calabasas.
You know, Caitlin close to Calabasas Cook, because that's where she grew up, close to Calabasas.
There we go.
Or, California.
Oh, just
Right?
California. We actually did.
The all-encompassing.
Now I like to be more
I'll
specific.
think
with
of it by the end of the
Calabasas.
episode.
Let's just actually, Calabasas is a cool name.
It's a great
It means
name.
pumpkin in Spanish.
Does it?
Yes.
Not as cool
Calabasas.
anymore.
No, it
Although
sounds
the
like it could
second
be like
you
a
said
vampire.
does it, I
Yeah.
immediately questioned my knowledge on that fact.
Right. No, that does.
I
Wait,
think
you say pumpkin?
Yeah.
Wait. Did you say sounds like a vampire?
It sounds like a Dracula name to me.
Like
the
Dracula's
Oh, I
nemesis,
could see that.
Calabasas.
Yes, Count Calabasas. Yeah.
Oh, Count Calabasas. That's fucking great. The guy, the vampire that Sebastian Valmont has to hunt next.
Yes.
That's for you Castlevania nerds. So that's there we go. Caitlin Castlevania Cook.
Oh, I like that one. I'll take it.
There we go.
You would actually, I think you're not a gamer. I'm not really a gamer either, but I think you would have loved Castlevania.
I think I would have
could
been
see
a
that.
gamer if I had my own console in my house growing up. Because I played a lot of games at friends' houses.
What'd you play?
It
what were your
mostly
friends
started
into?
with like hours and hours of like Smash and Mario Kart.
Sure,
and all that
it's so
stuff.
funny hearing people be like, "When I grew up, I literally am gonna go home after this and play those very games."
Oh, I still do. I remember when it switched to the Wii, and I was like really good at it, and people were upset because they didn't switch as quickly as I did.
I didn't switch. I never did the Wii. I play the Switch now actually, and so I've gotten good at Super Smash Brothers on that. And then I used to play 64.
Yes,
but
a lot of that.
I went to PlayStation for a while, camped out over there.
I feel like it's a good metaphor for who you want to be as an artist and a person. Would you rather be a PlayStation or Nintendo? In the sense that PlayStation, you just sort of universal and pump out tons of games and all that shit, or Nintendo, which reinvents itself with every model and doesn't have a ton of games, but only seems to make classic shit.
I like that. I was thinking you were going to say, because PlayStation feels more like aggro to me, so it's like a Dane Cook sort of comedian. And then Nintendo's more like a Maria Bamford.
Yeah.
It's a little calmer.
You heard it here
like,
first.
Yeah.
You know, tell us what kind of
if that's
comedian
the case,
you want to be.
I'm
definitely
a
a
PC.
Nintendo.
I'm a PC gamer.
Yeah. Well, it's also like
I'm a Game Boy.
yeah,
Nice.
Game Boys.
You can take me on the go.
Yeah.
Very good.
You remember? Well, you remember like because I think of Nintendo. You said Nintendo 64. When I think of 64, I think of GoldenEye.
Right, of course.
Obviously, Mario Kart.
Sure.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 64 is still my favorite Mario Kart. Yeah.
And then like 1080. Remember the
I had
snowboarding game?
1080, yes.
Yeah.
I love 1080. It's like, for some reason, I was like, why are we all so into 1080? I've never snowboarded in my life, but I was like, I'm gonna get that 1080, man.
Because it was all about that. That was one of those games where I always felt like I could be walking into a room. Toward a room where all my friends were playing a game, and I could tell what kind of game it was based on just the like consistency of buttons being pressed.
Yeah,
like the speed and the amount. What am I thinking of? The amount that something's done at a certain pace.
What?
the rhythm.
The rhythm. Yeah, the rhythm.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't remember words. That's totally
sorry,
cool.
I thought
Pace
you were
works.
asking
I
about
think
a
pace
specific-
probably
Yeah,
works.
but
Pacing
just
of the
like
button
if you just hear like
The frequency.
Like frequency.
Yeah,
Thank you. If you just hear a frequency of buttons being smashed at a super, it was like someone's either playing Mortal Kombat / Tekken.
I loved
or-
both of those
Same
games.
family.
I was
Or-
really good at Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, 1080 because they're trying to get that 1080. Wait, you were good at Mortal Kombat?
And Tekken. And then also, while we were talking about the snowboarding one, which I never played, but I played a ton of Tony Hawk.
Me
which
too,
I completely
yes.
forgot about, but I had a big crush on my neighbor who was really into skateboarding.
Tony
so I used
Hawk.
to go over there and learn. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
professional.
Tommy Hawk.
I was really into Tony Hawk. We actually I have a 64 at my place now, and for a while before I got the Switch, we would all play. My roommate is really good at Tony Hawk still, and then I would play Mario Kart and Mario Tennis.
So wait,
So
you've got
good.
a 6.4 with
I've got
cartridges.
I do, yeah.
Wow.
I know. I lost all my favorite games though. I had NFL Blitz, Mario Tennis, and I think I still have Mario Kart, but Mario Tennis and Blitz were my two faves.
But right though, like 64 was probably the last gaming console that had cartridges, right?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
cartridges.
Like
No, I
the
remember
big,
blowing on 'em.
Because now
Trying to make 'em work.
Right. The Switch has like little SanDisk like micro card chip things.
Wow.
And then obviously the PlayStation has discs. I don't know what else we had.
what-
Xbox has discs.
Wait.
Everybody's downloading games now though.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
do they even have discs anymore?
I still like a disc. I don't know why.
Like, think about if you're listening to this podcast. Think if like podcast came out on CD, or you know what I mean? Like if
yeah.
podcasts only
Yeah.
came out in like physical form.
I
No one would listen to podcasts.
I used to download podcasts like that where I would burn them onto CDs to drive
What?
with.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I had an old car, so it had a CD changer, but it
okay.
didn't have the like USB thing, and it was before I had a smartphone.
Got
remember
it.
like 6 disc changers?
Oh,
and they were
yeah.
always in the trunk. And so it was like you committed to 6 whole different choices of music.
I wish
my
my car
mom had
still
like
had
a
that.
10-disc one. And
Really?
What?
Something nuts. Well,
God,
she was
just bragging today.
totally bragging. She's a dancer choreographer, so she always used to bring a ton of music for her classes and work on them in the car. So I'd have to like go into the back seat while she was driving and like flip over into the trunk area because it was a
Yeah.
van and like switch them around. And I completely forgot about that until right now.
Also,
Yeah.
gee, way to slip in your mom's a dancer choreographer.
I'm just bragging up a storm today.
Caitlin, I'm going back to Caitlin Cool Dude Cook. Because you're just Caitlin convulsing amounts of braggery Cook. That's not a good word.
No, I think that's good.
It's the worst nicknames. Wait, what? Dude, I really, like, right now I'm having trouble remembering words.
You were up very late.
Were you guys up late? What'd you guys do last night?
I was not. I stayed in. I was working on my show.
Did you have shows last
But
night?
if you did show up at 3:30, I would have been asleep by 3:15, so you would have just missed me.
Nice. I was up at 3:30, but it's one of those where I went to bed at like midnight and I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't drink, so I was like, I know this probably sounds bad, but the nights I don't drink, I'm just like laying awake at night. Like,
Buddy.
I can relate.
Dude, it doesn't sound bad because A, alcohol is in many ways a sedative, but B, I'm with you. I experience, I don't know which is worse, laying awake all night and then eventually falling asleep, or what happens to me where when I don't drink, usually for the first night or two, I will go to sleep and then wake up like 4.5 hours later.
Yes.
And then it's just like, and not back to bed. Sorry.
Yeah. Because
Nope.
they say you get better sleep when you're sober. Like if you drink, your sleep is worse.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse is like today I woke up at like 12:30 because I went to sleep at like 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I had just drank last night, I would have gone to bed at like midnight or 1
Yeah.
and been
Still
up
woken
at
up
10.
still woken up at noon 30.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's like if you'd been out here at 3:30 in the morning, you'd have seen me through here watching an episode of The Sopranos. Because if I get too drunk, when I come home, I stay awake for at least an hour.
Yeah.
So that I don't pee the bed.
I appreciate it.
Interesting. That's probably good.
Sober up just a little bit. Get all the residual.
Look who's bragging now.
Yep. Sean stays
Sean
up to
pee the bed
prevent
pattern.
from peeing the bed pattern.
Sean P. Prevention Patton.
There it is. Sean stays awake. Patton? Why stays awake? Don't ask. Because that would be what it was in the mafia. They just give you enough to where it's like, now it's a mystery. Sean stays awake, Patton. Shawnee stays awake. Like, wait, why do you call him stays awake? Don't ask, but just don't sleep on that guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hey, I'd shut my mouth if I were you. How about that?
We're going to nickname you, should shut his mouth, Steve. Stevie shut his mouth. Like, my name's Paul. And now it's Steve. That's how it goes.
Oh, Paulie don't like his name Steve.
Just they keep going.
Hannigan, yeah.
Oh, Hannigan. Oh, why is that a perfect Irish mafia name? But then,
I love it.
Yeah, it should have been Italian, I guess, but that's fine. All right.
no, I mean, I feel like that would, in a true mafia situation, it would be better, I feel like, to not be full-blood Sicilian.
Yeah.
So I feel like then it's all about getting made.
Sure,
And then once you get
sure.
made, you're a fucking marked man.
Yeah.
The feds know about you. The other crews, other capos.
Yeah, you want to stay under the radar.
I'm telling you, dude.
I
I've
wanna
been
be
watching.
made, man.
I've really been watching too much
I'm
Sopranos
going to get
lately.
into Sopranos.
Once again, I can relate,
Yeah, you can.
Not
This
at
is
all.
the show that me and my girlfriend are gonna. She's already watched it, and she was like, "You have to watch it," and I'm finally gonna do
He
it.
keeps telling me that.
The Sopranos.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
You know what's amazing?
either.
What's amazing about The Sopranos is like how much of it would definitely not be made today. Because there's some real like holy shit moments of like domestic
offensive?
violence.
Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
they do not. And I mean, here's the thing: it's like you see it on screen. It's like, oh, that's fucking hard to watch. But then it's like in the writing of
But
it.
it's
It's
like
like
that's real.
That's how those fucking
But
guys
dude,
are.
have you seen Big Little Lies?
Yes.
Oh, dude, you got to see Big Little Lies. That was
Yeah.
probably my
I'll
favorite
rewatch
show that year. What was it, 2017 or something like that? That it came out probably.
Yeah,
It
probably
was
by now.
so good. But there's some domestic violence scenes in that are like
Yeah.
super disturbing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
really fucked up.
But it's good. It's one of it was. I loved that show. I'm really curious about the season 2 because
I
the
know, me
season
too.
2 is off book.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Oh, it's a book. It's a book.
The first season was
an
a book.
adaptation.
Yeah.
Second season is what's her name? Damn it, who's the main actress in it? Reese Witherspoon is just like,
Yeah.
what if I wrote something?
Yeah. They should go the other way with it. Like if a show gets canceled, then someone should just start writing a book. Like Crashing should just become a book. Pete, if you're listening, write a book.
Yeah, Pete.
Start
come
Crashing the
on.
book
Next
series.
They're gonna make a
projects.
movie, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what that would just be so funny. And like if The Wire had gotten canceled when it did, and they just turned it, or did it get canceled, or did it just end?
I haven't seen The Wire either. This is crazy.
So good. Yeah. Although I haven't finished all of it, but
The Wire's dense. I mean, I love it, but it's like it's a commitment. But I love it. I'm
gonna make that commitment.
I want to
finally gonna do it.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather. You ever watch? This happens to me too much. You ever, especially with like Game of Thrones. I'll be watching Game of Thrones. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I want to be in this show. And I said it one time. It's like, I want to be in this show. And my brother was like, well, don't you have like an agent?
Yeah.
Can you like audition? I was like, no. I don't want to act in the show. I want to be in the show.
I want to live in this show.
In Westeros. I want to be the Lord of. I don't even want to be the Lord of a house. I want to be like the Master at Arms.
That was like the fun thing about watching Crashing is you're like, we are in this world. It's weird. And I want to get out of it.
Yeah. That was like, that's my favorite thing of watching anything, really, or reading any book is like, if they just made the world slightly different from what it really is, like fantasy I love, but also even if it's just a world that I just haven't interacted with, I'm like, fuck. Let's see what this is. It's so intriguing.
When I was a kid, I think that's why I was into rom-coms so much. Because I was like, it's not like our world.
Yeah, it's not real.
But I was like, I want love to exist like that.
Yeah.
Like I was really into that. I wanted to live in the You've Got Mail universe. Or You've Got Mail-averse.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, think of like every like high school coming of age party-centric movies that were all like kind of lame, but you also like watched them and you're like, why are our parties like that? Why doesn't somebody have a big crazy house jam?
I had that same thought, and I remember I was probably like 22 around this time, and I was like, man, I wish our high school had been like that. And then I was with these people who were like, we did have parties like that. What are you talking about? I just wasn't invited. I didn't know about them.
True.
Yeah, I think I watched those and I was like, I just don't know.
There was no like She's All That type house, like where they'd have those big pool
just like
party
endless
things.
amount of rooms and like places to go make out.
See, I feel like I knew that definitely existed. I just wasn't invited.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just was like, that's so weird. Our school doesn't have parties.
Meanwhile, I was like, I just want to go to Hogwarts. That was my thing.
See, I remember actually going to parties, but then being like disappointed. Like, man, there's no like rope swing. You know what I mean? Like, why is the pool not full of Jello?
Why aren't people playing Twister?
There's
like,
no hammock.
Why isn't like the super hot girl making out with a nerd?
Yeah.
Because he fucking saved her from her jock boyfriend. Like, why is this bullshit? Why are we just standing around drinking natty fucking ice? And smoking Marlboro Red 100s? Because that's the only cigarettes they would sell us. You ever have that? Like, everybody had that one store you went to in high school that you knew it would like they would sell it to you even though you're underage.
Yeah.
There was one that we went to that would only sell us Natty Ice and Marlboro Red 100s.
That's like
for some
responsible.
reason. Yeah, it was like
We'll give it to you, but the worst kind.
If
He's
you-
kind of like, hey, this will stop you from getting into this.
or turn you in, or
make you
the
a
other
dirt
way,
person. Yeah.
or you're gonna be on parole in a few years, and this will be the shit you can buy with the fucking only job you'll be able to get.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
hey.
with a dock loading job you'll be able to get because you're a fucking loon. Like nothing against dock workers. I don't want the union coming after me. Just saying you probably hire more parolees than say a fucking chemistry
you
lab.
just dug yourself a hole, baby. I wouldn't be going
this
after
podcast is getting shut down.
Just a bunch of people
fucking dock work. Local 188 doesn't take too kindly to your fucking phrases. Yeah, we all did a bid. We all, but that don't mean we can't afford just Natty Ice and more. Look, he's got Camel Reds.
I hear waterproof boots stomping up the...
This guy over here, he's smoking American Spirits.
What's his nickname?
What?
What's his nickname?
That's Frankie Funky Lungs.
Nice.
Frankie Funk Lungs.
Coughing all the time.
He's always coughing, but it sounds like an old vinyl recording of Dr. John. It's ridiculous. I want the local one. If local 188 is actually a dock workers union, let's do something together. Let's write a script.
We'll have you on the show.
There we go.
But yeah, like that guy, it was that one store you'd go to, and if you tried to buy like real booze if you put like Bud Light up there, ID. If you asked for Marlboro Lights, ID.
Yeah.
But if you just were like case of Natty Ice and Marlboro Red 100s. He just no idea, just didn't even ask.
I never did this.
Really
I never
weird.
knew the store even. Did you do this? I had a friend
it.
who bought booze for us when I was in
Wait,
college.
where did you grow up though?
I grew up in Bloomington, Indiana, where the
you
IU
grew up
is.
in Bloomington.
I grew up in
That's
Bloomington.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
So
a fun place to grow up.
Yeah, it's not bad. It depends. I grew up in the country part of Bloomington. Like I didn't know about the college. I didn't know about the liberal arts scene and shit.
Okay.
I grew up in the kind of hillbilly, the conservative part of Bloomington. I grew up in the hills kind of,
Okay.
but near the farms and shit without having a farm. So we were kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit.
So just houses on giant plots of land. With
Kind
no,
of. I mean,
with
we
no-
were across from it. We didn't have a jump. We had a decent amount of land, but it was kind of in the shitty area.
I love the idea of just I got a farm, but we got no animals, got no crops, just a lot of freaking yard. You know what I mean?
Big old yard full of nothing.
Well, I feel like in that kind of environment, you wouldn't be able to go to a store like that.
Well, there was a store on the corner, a mile and a half, 2 miles from us, that I bet you could get away with that shit. But there was a gas station that didn't even have a store attached. There was nothing out there.
Yeah.
But no, but when I moved towards the campus, even then I didn't really know. But I had a buddy. I lived with a guy who was 6 years older than us, and we could just pay him extra to buy us beer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty sick.
Caitlin grew up in L.A.
Yeah. Well, now
So-
you're bragging for me.
No,
Gross.
but probably couldn't buy. Had to go out to. That's why they went to Calabasas all the time.
I was just
get
a
some
straight up
sodas.
nerd. I wasn't interested in buying alcohol until I went with a couple friends who were a year above me to see Superbad. And we were immediately afterwards,
Superbad,
let's
too.
get fake IDs because we just saw Superbad. And so
Yes.
we got fake IDs and we bought Heineken.
Nice.
And
You went fancy right off the bat.
yeah, I didn't know anything about beer. So I was just I like the green bottle.
Yeah. I got into Mike's Hard Lemonade and what's that shit called? Smirnoff Ice.
Oh my
at
God!
first.
My
That-
brother over Christmas just iced
Jesus
everybody
Christ.
by sticking a Smirnoff Ice in their stockings.
Yeah.
But he forgot because mine and his stockings are a panda bear and a teddy bear without our names. He
Yeah.
forgot which one was which, and he
So he
accidentally
iced himself.
You know about the icing?
was-
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't,
That
if,
happened to a
you
buddy
don't,
of
if
mine
you don't know
recently.
what that means, listeners, that's if you want to be a real piece of shit. You play this game where you put. I think it's you put a Smirnoff Ice in someone's personal area.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
moment if they see it, they have to drink
Yeah,
it
they
all
have
to
on the
drink
spot, which I had to do on Christmas morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
you would
he-
do it
that's
too.
yeah,
when my,
Oh,
that's when my
God.
brother
Yeah,
decided
because
to
we
do
were
it.
Caitlin and I, because we're just we were doing the podcast at our parents' house with her mom. That'll be the unreleased episodes.
Let's never let those out.
and yeah, I oh, why is my stockings heavier than normal? Wow, cool. Oh, Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah,
just
I've
like-
never done
9
it to
a.m.
anybody.
Jesus.
It was really
Got me.
ridiculous because I just thought everyone was gonna laugh and then
Yeah.
not drink it, and then
That's what I was about to say. If I did that to my family, they'd all be like, haha,
Yeah,
fuck you.
that's what I thought it was
nobody
gonna be
would
like.
drink
And
it.
then
Yeah.
my brother's fiance Allison started chugging, and I was like, okay, I guess everybody's in.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, were you sick? I mean, it's not that bad.
No, it's fine. I mean, the amount
They're
of
just very sweet.
alcohol, the
It's
amount
a
of
sweet thing to do in
poison
the
I put
morning.
myself.
We
I
used to
chugged a
do-
Smirnoff Ice before my first kiss.
Oh no! Wait,
Is she-
what
is
age
she
is
still-
this
is she-
happening at?
Yeah.
What's that?
It seems
I was
late
19.
for a first kiss
I
or
was
early
19.
for alcohol. Got it.
So right around the same. Both, one was too late, one was too early.
Yeah.
Wait, and is she still frozen in that, in that same
It
pose?
was a kiss of death.
Not this Smirnoff Ice. It's so cold, Smirnoff. We'll take your sponsorship money.
We used to play a different version called beer pocketing, which is exactly like it sounds. It would be usually with the rugby team after practice, everyone would be wearing big sweatpants with big pockets in, and you would just open their pocket, stick a full Keystone Light in there, and then they'd have to chug it. And while they were chugging it, sometimes someone else would put another one in their other pocket.
Yes.
You know, it was dangerous.
Here's a
So,
question for you.
No pockets.
Yeah.
Because we all, now, obviously, I don't still like Smirnoff Ice, but would you rather, if you had to right this second, go Keystone or Smirnoff Ice?
Keystone.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say Smirnoff Ice.
I drank so much Keystone in
Yeah.
college.
Yeah, that was
and
my
it
college
was
beer.
So disgusting.
So gross.
Whereas Smirnoff, it's so sugary. I'm probably gonna have a headache later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd rather do the Smirnoff.
Me too.
I think.
Yeah.
I think, but that's just me in general. Like, I'd rather eat shit than smell it.
I don't think that's applicable here.
No.
I don't understand the analogy.
Well, if you don't understand it, you fucking haven't walked a mile in my shoes, and you probably shouldn't.
I'd rather drink piss than have to piss it out.
Rather set myself on fire than eat a s'more. Like, what? Be the s'more, baby.
That's the title of this episode.
All right, so Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hear you have a story for us, but
Yeah.
can
Got
you
a
tell
little-
us the story?
All right, I'm going to tell you this story. All right. Crush,
Whoa.
hospital,
Okay.
drunk. This is a double one word.
Okay.
That's all right.
Missing patient,
Oh, shit.
ceiling.
Okay. So this story is crush, hospital, drunk, missing patient, ceiling.
All right.
Does this work? Is this
This is perfect.
We're
This
good
is
for the
perfect.
format? Okay, good.
Because based
All right.
on, because knowing you all these years, Caitlin, you probably have a good idea what this is about.
Yeah. I feel like this is about just after your first kiss. So maybe a couple years afterwards. I'm going to say you're not quite 21. You're almost, but you're not quite. You have a big crush on this girl. You go to a party. She's there. You're there. You start to drink. You feel like something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good vibe.
It's a good vibe. And then you realize, like, hey, the only way to impress this girl is to make her think that I'm, smarter, more than I am. You're like, hey, by the way, I'm getting paged. Got to run by the hospital. Don't know if you know this. I'm a doctor. Which, it was a little big of a lie at the time, but
Yeah.
you were going for it. You were
Yeah.
going
Sure,
huge,
Doogie Howser.
And she was blown away by this. She wasn't going to question such confidence. She's like, what? And you're like, yeah, I got a quick appendectomy to go check up on. And she's like, oh, shit, can I come with? And now you're like, uh-oh, bit off more than I can chew, but going to commit to it, But first,
Yeah. The problem is that you're both drunk.
Right.
So you got to figure
Right.
out how you're going to get to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So you
This
start.
is crazy.
Yeah. You start walking, right? And
Your
you
life,
find,
bud.
this is in Bloomington, Indiana. You find an abandoned tractor on one of the farmlands. So you're going to take that to the hospital. Yeah, there's a
But true,
stupid girl, a big lie, and a tractor.
Yeah. But then of course, as you're tractoring it through the fields of rural Bloomington, you come across like an old school fucking hobo,
Sure.
old school like stick with like a
A bindle.
What is it? Yeah, bindle. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah,
Like a
yeah.
handkerchief.
Yes.
The old Bloomington handkerchief. That's what
course.
they called it because there's so many runaways. And then you ride
More
up on it, and
condescending.
you realize it's Beth Williamson, and she's been missing. You'd been seeing her missing posters. You're like, are you Beth Williamson? She's like, oh God, do you know me? And you're like, I do. I'm Dr. Thakkar.
Right.
How are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I've been missing for a while. And then the girl you're trying to impress is like, you should do a checkup on her to make sure she's okay, being that you're a doctor. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm going to wrap this last one in. So you finally get to the hospital, right?
Right.
So at this point, I think it's pretty clear, how do I keep this lie going? So you're just like, wait in the waiting room. I'm going to go check in. And the only way that you're able to get through the doors is to be like, we're missing a patient. And everyone starts kind of going crazy. So you get through the doors. And do you know this last one? Because I don't.
What is the last word?
Oh, you don't remember
Ceiling.
this?
Oh, yeah. No, I this is totally happening. Right? What was the last thing you said?
He goes through the doors to the part where the patients aren't allowed, or patients unless they're being taken in.
Right. He's like, we have a missing patient. And then
Yeah.
Tom, and in a moment of sheer fucking brilliance, goes, what the heck is that? Points to the ceiling, which, again, if you're confident enough, anyone will believe
Will
you.
fall for.
Right? And everyone looks up, and as everyone's looking up, he sneaks, both the girl, Beth, what's her name? Beth Henderson?
Yeah.
Williamson.
Well,
Beth
Williamson. Sorry.
Yeah.
He sneaks her. He
I
sneaks.
apologize.
This is your story.
Sneaks her in, gets her in her room real quick, right? And now she's checked in there, so she's no longer missing.
Yeah.
Because he knows as soon as they all look down from the ceiling, they'll look at her and be like, wait, Beth Henderson? I'm like, Williamson? She's been missing. Oh, she must have turned herself into the hospital.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what happened. Everyone looks down and goes, "Oh my God, Beth Henderson is here. Beth Williamson is here."
And confusing her with Beth Henderson, who was never found.
No.
And everyone is so happy that this girl's back that they don't even question who brought her in. Everybody's just applauding, like, "Oh my God, we found."
And this girl that you had a crush on, it's like we were in the high school movies that we were all talking about. She just runs up to you, pops the leg, kisses you, and scene.
Right.
Pops her leg.
Yeah, it's like the Princess
Oh,
Diaries
you
leg
have
pop
it like
kiss.
up. I see.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like out of her socket.
Well,
That would be very weird.
because it turns out that she's actually some weird sort of like masochist, like into some S&M, like, "Ooh, Dr. Thakkar, why don't you fix my thigh?"
She starts breaking her arm.
Yeah. That's part of it. So anyway,
So we totally nailed the story, right?
Yeah,
and
that was
just
pretty
to
close.
recap, it's about the time that Tom had a crush on a girl, lied, said he was a doctor while still at a party,
That's where it went off the rails.
and decided, and she was like, "Oh, can I come with you to your appendectomy?" He's like, "Of course we can. Let's take a walk, though. My BMW's in the shop. You left that part out."
Right.
And then well, let's
That was
just
a
take
big
this
part.
tractor that no one's...
Tractor. The note's using.
While
you know how to give me a
tractoring, you
tractor.
discover, you find a runaway who you then
Did
bring...
you think this said missing person?
I did say it said missing.
That is what it
That's
says.
why. No, missing
Missing patient.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so Tom tractors to the hospital with a girl he's trying to impress and a missing person.
Yeah.
Fools everyone into looking at the ceiling so that he can get the missing person girl into the bedroom or into the
doctor's
into one of the check. Yeah, she's like admitted into the admitted room,
Yeah.
and everyone is so happy that she's back that the girl forgets that Tom said he was a doctor and just makes out with him because of the good deed she witnessed him do.
This should be a movie script.
Right.
So you guys were so close.
And
It was a push mower, not a riding mower. That was very in Indiana. Those are like mopeds to us. They like don't go as fast as the riding. No, okay. So how do I do? I just go into what
tell the
happened?
actual story.
Like I said, very close.
Yeah.
So you were right on the money about what time around the era of this.
Funny.
So I was like probably 19, 20, something like that. It was after the first kiss, but before I was out of college or whatever. I worked at an emergency department for from the time I was like 18 to like
The emergency department?
in Bloomington.
I didn't know they called it the department.
Yeah. The ED, the
Yeah.
old erectile dysfunction. I worked in that from 18 to like 25 or 24 or something like that.
Right.
But in the meantime, anyway, around this time, I'm in school at IU, and there's this girl I have a crush on in my English class. I've never spoken to her. It's just one of those things. I was a shy kid or whatever.
Yeah.
And but I had a crush on this girl, and then I'm working in the emergency department one night, and sure enough, like I worked night shifts, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So around 1, 2, 3, college kids would come in a lot of the time drunk. They'd never been that drunk before. They didn't know how to like. They didn't know that they could just sleep, or they were worried that they were gonna get. Their friends would be like, "Oh, they're gonna get alcohol poisoning or something," and they'd bring them in.
How much have you had? I chugged a half a Smirnoff Ice and a half a Keystone. Like you might have alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
No.
So sure enough, this girl comes in. Her friends bring her in.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm going to have something to talk to this girl about.
Yeah.
But she goes, they put her in a room. She's like out of it. She's completely out of it. It's crazy. She's like yelling at the nurses and shit. She's
damn.
She slaps a male nurse in the face. And so she goes, I love you. And then she flips and goes, I hate you. And she slaps this guy in the face. She's acting crazy. Yeah. So finally they put her, my job at the time is to go to people's rooms and get their insurance information from them, their like registration or whatever.
Man,
it's the worst job.
Yeah, that's like that.
People hate you.
Yeah.
Everybody hates you. They're like, my dad's arm got ripped off by a shark, and now you want to know what our address is?
Yeah,
like, fuck you.
Because where did he find a shark in Indiana? First of all, who's lying here?
It's a very dangerous zoo. So cut to a couple hours pass by. Like, she's been crazy, but like I have to wait a while to go get this insurance information. But I'm kind of like, I'm gonna get to maybe not at that point. I was like, this isn't gonna be a thing where I'm gonna get to know her. But I had a crush on her. I was like, Maybe I'll find something out. But this will be a funny story someday that I'll tell her. Like, hey, I was there at the emergency department when you were there. I won't bring up that you were crazy. But I go to her room. She's not there. She's gone.
What?
Nobody can find her. She's a missing patient.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so she's gone, and I have to go. They're like, hey, did you get that person registered? And I'm like, I don't know where she is. And it's possible her friends just took her out, but that would be really weird because I think she was maybe on a hold at that point.
Okay.
So we're like talking about it. All of a sudden, we hear a loud crash in the bathroom. And what had happened is she tried to escape. She tried to Mission Impossible out of the building. And so she got up into the ceiling and was climbing. She was climbing through the ceiling and crashed through and destroyed this bathroom. Somehow she walked out of it kind of fine, but like the sink was broken. Like I have a picture of it on my Facebook somewhere. So I took a picture of the bathroom and posted it.
Jesus.
But
it's impressive.
It's pretty crazy, that she got up there. But long story short, it didn't work out with her.
Did you ever talk to her about it?
No, I avoided all eye contact with her from then on out. I mean, I was like, this will never be a story. That also, she's probably crazy.
Yeah,
because I was like, I've been drunk before, but
don't go Mission Impossible through the ceiling.
Was an actual fucking spy.
She could have been a spy.
Like, your first date, you'd have to go to a diner and sit at like opposite booths and talk to each other with your backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not sitting. Shut up! This is how we're gonna do it. We're not sitting at the same booth.
Because I didn't say her name, I'm allowed to tell that story. Did I cover all the beats? Yes.
I think you're allowed to say anything you want. You know, if someone here's just a stance I'm gonna take, and this is a hard one, I know, but if you get shit-faced enough to where your friends bring you to the hospital, and then you attempt to Mission Impossible your way out and end up falling through the fucking ceiling into the bathroom and making a huge scene, and it affects the life of someone who becomes a comedian and years later does a podcast, they could probably say your name.
Yeah, although I didn't say her name. But you gotta be prepared for that.
Yeah, Sandra.
Yeah. You bitch.
Sandra the Ceiling Dawkins.
I'm seeing if I can find the picture of the bathroom, but it might take me a while.
No.
Oh, wow.
We would love to post that on
have
Instagram
it for sure.
when we post this episode.
Yes, I'll find it and send it to you guys.
I mean, that's one of those, like, how old do you think she was?
She was probably 19 or 20. She was like the same age as me. 'Cause it was like we were in an English class together that was like maybe we were 19. We were probably 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those things where, like that, like I am very fortunate to say that I don't have that thing. I can become a piece of shit in so many other ways when I drink alcohol. But the like uncontrollable, like need to be brought into the hospital's flip switch has never happened to me. Sometimes I'm jealous. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder what it's like to be at that point. Because I've known so many people like this where it's just like it's not even night and day. It's like night and day on different planets.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like such a switch that you're like, where does that happen? When does it happen?
I've seen it. I've dated girls who have been like that, where I'm just like, I straight up don't even know who you are now. And then they'll be like, the next day they'll be like, why are you being weird? And I'm like, do you remember anything about what happened last night?
You stabbed me.
Yeah.
You stabbed me with a toothbrush. You made a shiv.
Yeah, you carved a shiv, which it seems like you didn't have time to do that. I feel like you did that part sober and then got drunk enough to make the move.
I wonder what it's like to get drunk with someone who's like very well trained in martial arts or something who flips like that. That must be terrifying.
That is Chesley Calloway. He was a guy I started the show at CSO with a cabin in New York years ago. But he started training in jiu-jitsu. And then for the 7-year anniversary at the show at cabin, we're all getting drunk and partying and we're all on stage and Chesley takes his shirt off because he's wasted and I like jokingly engage. And then he basically puts me in a rear naked chokehold on stage.
Shit.
It's like I had to like tap out where it was like you're cutting off.
Yeah, who's that fun for?
And he was like, sorry. Yeah, it's like, but no, a really good friend of my best friend is a diabetic. So like type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
Like not the kind you get, not type 2 where your body is essentially going on strike. Like, we're not going to produce insulin under these circumstances.
Type 1 is like you're born.
Type 1 is like you
Yeah.
can't. I believe so, but he's got that kind. But he also is trained in martial arts, and he can't drink because it's the only thing that happens to him. When he all throughout college, apparently it was like, oh, he has had 3 drinks, he's blacked out, and he just roundhouse kicked.
Jesus.
A bouncer or something. So like no more booze for you. But
But have you ever destroyed a bathroom from the ceiling? I'm trying to think of the worst thing I've broken while clumsy drunk.
Somewhere out there, though, is a person who, when they become that drunk and their switch flips, they become a superhero.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're just shit-faced.
Dude, we got to make that movie. That's a movie,
That's
baby.
a great movie right there.
That's a movie.
Just shit-faced
And they
superhero.
don't remember it all.
They're just like, what did I do last night? They're like, you saved a bus from driving off a cliff.
Yes, I love that.
Wait. How did you know that because the bus driver was suicidal. Like, wait, how did I know the bus driver was suicidal? I don't know, but you said something about them being a bitch in the bedroom. Like, you knew that bitch.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I'm going to fuck these kids.
Oh, my God. And his superhero name is Super Drunk Guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's his superhero?
Yeah, because super drunk guy is always the guy in the corner. You're like, oh, it's fucking
He's
super
super
drunk.
drunk.
Guy.
Oh, yeah,
But he's like
okay.
super. And he just
What
goes
about
and saves people.
Belligero? Or like,
Yeah.
see.
Like what's the fuck? I can't think of any. I hate when I try to think of things and just can't. But when I don't try to
worst
think of
feeling.
things, I
Yeah.
can't stop thinking about them. No, I just like the idea that when he becomes super drunk, his power is he can like sense that wait, how did you know that guy was gonna go on a shooting range and you stopped him? Like, because I did coke with him in the bathroom.
Yeah. I can get to know a person. He was my bartender, and all of the things he does are just to bartenders. He saves parts of their lives.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
that's not bad.
How did you know he was? Yeah. How did you know that guy had a bomb? It's like because I used to drink bathtub gin, and then one time he was like, "Hey, you want to see me make amyl nitrate? That's not explosive." Well, it is explosive.
Yeah.
The effects of it are explosive, if you know what I mean, right? Amyl
man.
nitrate. You know what that is?
I
What
don't
is
know
that?
what you mean.
Is that the shit that's in gummy bears? or
No, I
something?
feel like that's the thing that like poppers.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
That stuff that
got it,
makes
got it,
your
got it.
butt expand or whatever. Yeah, that's what it does, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's a good band name.
What?
Butt expand or
Yeah,
pop?
butt expander.
No,
Butt
butt
expander?
expanders. Ooh, that's not bad.
I mean or like a more hardcore version of Grinder.
Yeah, yes. Butt expander.
Swipe right.
You take the E out of expander.
Swipe
Yes.
right and left at the same time because it's huge. 'Cause it's so wide.
That's a
doggy.
good place then.
That's a good place, because we have opened up your minds
And-
like the butthole, like the
Yeah.
buttholes on Butt Expander. Tommy Thakkar, where can they catch you?
Check out my podcast, Stand By Your Band.
Stand By
you guys
Your
have
Band.
both been on it.
Twice.
Super fun. Yeah.
Live version.
We gotta do that again. We're doing another live one tomorrow. I don't know when this comes out. Probably not in time for. Yeah,
Not
but-
tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Well, we always record ours by the seat of our damn pants. Like we recorded one last night at 10 p.m. that
I
came
saw
out this
that.
morning.
It just popped up on my
Yeah,
phone that it just
we did
came
a
out.
modest Yahoo app. But
With who?
anyway, with Esther Steinberg.
Okay, Stand By Your Band, super fun.
You did 311.
I did
right?
311.
Yes, that's a classic app. And then Tool, is that right?
Tool is who I was trying to do on
And
the.
then you did
Yeah.
T-Pain.
I did T-Pain.
Yes, check that out. Both of them. They're all fun apps. What else? I'm doing the JFL Road Show coming up April 3rd through the 11th, all around the Canada area.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be
Nice.
fun.
Yeah.
The Canada area.
Canada.
Or the country of.
And if this ends up coming out later, is there like website or
Yes,
social media?
just tomtakkar.com. Check it out, THAKKAR. I'm also on Twitter and Insta, all the good stuff.
Cool.
You gotta
Check
check
that
out. You gotta
out.
check out Tommy. He's got this. He's got the
out.
goods. Tommy the Goods Thakkar.
That's what they call me. Tommy on top.
Tommy the Goods. You know.
All right, beatbox us out. Bye.
It's not a bird, it's not a plane,